No, I feel weird. I've been swearing like a flipping docker.
You're listening to Comics Podcasting on the edge of civility.
I guess it seems likely we should get started, huh?
Yeah, it seems possible.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Here we are at episode 225 of TMG Cast.
Quite the milestone.
Isn't it, though?
No.
Not really.
Once you've done 150, they're all downhill. I think our quality
pretty much.
fell off some time ago.
Yeah, around 101.
Around 7.
Actually, we were ramping up at 7, actually.
We were awful. The first 10 to 15 might be some of the worst things ever put on the internet. And when you think about what's available on the internet,
It seems likely.
the one we fell asleep during is my personal favorite.
That is on my wall of shame. I transcribed it, printed it out, put it on the wall.
Did you really?
No, fuck no. What are you
That'd
talking
be amazing. Like, mumble, blah. Comics is hard.
I am your main and preeminent host,
Oh, you just keep building yourself up, bitch.
Adrian Tech Jedi Hunter. By my side, as always, is the incredible and inimitable Reverend Mad Duck, Bill McGinnis.
Quackity, quackity. Plus, you do imitations of me all the time, so I don't know that that's valid.
Imitations?
Inimitable.
Oh, no, I don't. Not successfully. Therefore, inimitable. Aha! I got
found out
you.
that one of the people I work with has a nickname for me. They don't call me this nickname. It's just like they remember people by assigning them a nickname. That's how they.
Oh, somebody taught them mnemonics and shit.
Something.
Yeah.
So my nickname is Lumber.
Of course it is.
I'm like, dude, I'm like the world's tiniest lumberjack. What the fuck are you talking about?
You can't be a 5'8" lumberjack.
Trees are challenging.
Wow, just because of the flannel and the beard. That's terrible. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how you live with yourself.
I don't. Other people have to. I'm gonna swim to Australia for safety.
So a couple of things have occurred lately.
Really?
Yes.
Shit.
Most recent thing is the first official trailer for Civil War,
Oh, okay.
which is pretty damned exciting, but I still think that, they can say they're pals all they want, but I don't really think...
They've done a great job of building the relationship to that point.
It's still too soon.
I think I think if you go back and look, they have a light buddy tone in the last Avengers film.
Sure, but that's not... in the trailer, Cap says, I have to do this. He's my friend. And Tony says, so was I. And I'm like, you ain't Bucky friends with him, man.
But Cap...
You've had adventures. You didn't fight a fucking war. You didn't grow up with the guy from single digits.
Well, yes and no. Think of it this way.
Yeah.
Cap has exactly one friend that he's made, Falcon.
Yeah. Everybody
Everybody else is an Avenger.
Yeah.
That's how. Like, it's not like he's got like, hey, street vendor, there you go. Give me my rat meat. No, fuck no.
Which is why, it's a good line, and, we do know that they're pals, but, it seems a little excessive for Tony to think that he's on the same friend level as Bucky.
He isn't thinking that, but the fact of the matter is, like, you're also dealing with a 40, like, I'm your friend, he's your friend.
Yeah.
You have to, like, you do right by your friend. Like, yes, we know that there are levels and whatnot, but bad fiction tells us that in 1945, a man's man said, you're my friend, and that's the end-all be-all, Oh, wait,
Okay.
the fat stoner's not going to swim to the boat fast enough for you three-headed shark? Holy shit, he made it!
Well, the three-headed shark has already taken down, like, 3/4 of the cast. So, I'm sure that little fucking Boston Whaler is not going to prove problematic for the fucking thing. By the way, kids, we're watching Three-Headed Shark Attack, which has just got to be a sci-fi movie of the week.
There's a little too much nudity for that.
Oh, well, yeah, there's that. Okay, this is obviously direct-to-video.
Oh, yeah. This chick is fucking monkey food.
Yeah, she's getting bit.
Shark chow.
She getting all bit up, yo. It is the worst. You know when they start naming movies after the gimmick and not giving them an actual title, that you're not working with quality.
Dude, all these people are swimming to this boat in their pants. Like, you know...
You can't swim in pants, man.
I suppose you can, but not quickly. Like, if there's a shark after me, like, I'm not like, okay, let me get these jeans on.
Yeah, it's quite difficult, I'm telling you. I was trained when I was in Virginia Beach. We were in a amphibious quartermaster battalion.
You have to kick that shit off in the water if you fall in, right?
Yeah. You got to get rid of that shit.
So they literally train you in a group of wet dudes to kick your pants off. That's
yeah, it's weird. It's not appreciated, but I'm sure I would live after it all.
I'll be honest, dude. I have to assume that was one of the more uncomfortable training sessions. A lot of guys looking at the ceiling like, God damn this.
Yeah, make sure you wear your PT shorts underneath.
God damn it, Joey! Wait, dog paddling!
They were adventurous, heady days. I don't know what.
Be still my heart.
So that was the Civil War trailer.
Okay, that's one.
One of the other things that's happened, like every other day they're putting out more footage for Star Wars, and it's just like a half a second here, a full second here, but they keep doing all these new spots. And if you want to catch up, you got to look at like 9 different spots now.
I have seen 1.5 trailers. That's it. I'm doing my level-headed best. I had to see one that was in front of Spectre, so I'm like, all right, I'm boned here. Damn you, James Bond!
Well, there's a certain amount of crossover, so it's okay. And then Jessica Jones premiered.
Oh, yes.
Wow, that is a high quality but difficult to watch show. I don't remember reading much Alias. I think I've read 2 trades, maybe.
Graphics. I don't know if I've lent them all to you.
Yeah,
and it was quite a while ago that those got read.
You know, and it was standard Bendis grittiness. A lot of fuck.
Yeah, it was very dark.
I totally didn't remember how much of her history bleeds over either way. So I'm like, are they making this up? Or was that there? Well, theoretically, they're making it all up because she didn't exist before Alias. So, she's like, of course she was there. She gave up. She was heroing on the fringe. Oh, yeah, fine. Spider-Man met everyone else in the universe by 1974. He never hung out with Jewel. Okay, great, fine. Yeah, keep talking.
Silly Jewel. This is for real heroes.
I haven't finished it yet. Then I'm probably going to do episode 6 tomorrow. And, you know, I may bang out the rest of it and call it even. Because I got things to do. So I get this out the way. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's not the easiest show in the universe to wrap your head around. But, you know, Kilgrave actually being menacing and villainous? I didn't read enough Kilgrave, and I never read enough Purple Man to really get if he's ever been a hardcore villain or not. I don't know.
I think that's a relatively recent transaction. I don't believe that he was always, you know, Kilgrave the awful bastard. I think there was a whole lot of Kilgrave the, you know, low quality B-level. Like, I mean, basically he's the same as the Mandrill. It's just he's not a damn monkey. So,
honestly, the most I know about Purple Man came from Emperor Doom. So, it's like, he whines a lot and tries to get people to do things. And he just wants to, you know, he wants to live in the lap of luxury, whose ever lap that may be. I don't know. All right, you're slightly amused, but it's not funny. I get it. I'm with you. It's all right. Star Wars is coming out very, very soon.
Mm-hmm. Did you take off the 18th?
No. I'm not going opening day.
Dude, even I'm going opening day.
With all those savages? Are you
I'm
kidding?
going at 9 a.m., man. If there's a guy in fucking costume at 9 a.m., I feel legally bound to punch him.
There will be.
Yeah.
Is there a 9 o'clock show? Did you sign up for a 9 o'clock show?
I didn't do shit. I got a text from Joel going, hey, let me,
Yeah.
you just got eaten. I totally missed that. He's like, hey, take this day off. And I'm like,
It
okay.
was secondary brunette got eaten just now.
No, the secondary brunette's in the boat.
That's the primary. Whatever.
I'm
Doesn't
totally
matter.
confused.
It doesn't
Was it
matter.
the new girl that they made that whole horrible doctor thing about? And then you get eat her? Like, this is awful.
I don't know.
This movie's awful.
You're
Why
awful.
would you make us watch this?
You do that every time, and it's
I know.
never me.
It's always funny, though.
It is never me. Oh, both the brunettes did get through. So who did it eat?
That other girl,
The blonde scientist? That's not...
got to be kidding.
You
I
know,
thought she was the lead.
it was a ridiculous show. This shouldn't exist. Do you have anything else you want to talk about before we dig
let's
into
see.
some independent books?
Why don't you tell everybody about your shopping for Black Friday?
Oh my god, Midtown Comics needs to go fuck itself. Because I just spent a frightening amount of money that I didn't anticipate spending, but it kept filling gaps and exposing me to stuff I wanted to read. Like Jupiter's Circle and MPH and Namor from the Byrne era and filling a couple of shadow gaps just for you. Oh my god. Yeah. I'm not disclosing the number. You can go fuck yourself. I will say that there's a shitload of them because most of them were like 47 cents a piece, and oh my god, it's machete.
Of course it is.
Why does poor Danny Trejo got dragged into this?
Dude, I think poor Danny Trejo is the wrong way to look at him.
As they say in CinemaSins, they didn't drag poor Danny Trejo into this, did they?
That is just not right.
No, it isn't, man. Yeah, I'm not telling you how much I spent, but it's a frightening number. It's a significant portion of a long box. Let me put it that way. Oh no! And that's on top of all the Namors and Terminators and all the other shit I got to read. Luckily, you're not writing anything about it. It's just pure old catch up and just. Was this book any good? I can't remember. Let's find out. Oh, it's dookie. It's going to be terrible, but it's going to be fun and terrible.
He's good. He's good and terrible.
Yeah, good and terrible. I thought that was trash. That's what I said. Nemo Bird, I thought that was the trash. Where do you want to start? You want to start with Mercury Heat or War Stories?
Either way, man. I get paid by the hour.
No, you don't.
Fuck.
Not here, you don't. You don't get paid at all.
I keep hoping.
Oh, and here comes the party boat getting ready to get eaten by the... Oh, no, that's terrible.
Of course. Yeah.
I've never been on a party boat. I've never been in a party with that many people who were having that much fun, dressed like that.
Oh, I have.
Walking away quite in that
not
fashion.
dressed like that. You killed it there. Like, I've never been on a party boat. I've been at a party with this many people. There are very few bikinis. Although, no, that's not entirely true, because I did a spring break in Panama City, so...
What?
I don't remember a lot of it, but there seems to have been some bikinis in there.
I should think not. That's a story you haven't told me. I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, no, we drove down there, and Billy got drunk a lot.
Wow. Well, let's pause. Well, there's our 15 minutes of absolutely nothing. And I know some people like that banter.
Do they?
Some people do, man.
Really?
I
You
gave
got
up
feedback?
No. I've got not from us. I don't mean from us.
Oh,
nobody,
okay.
Nobody
No,
talks to us. I don't know what the fuck you're
Why,
talking
every now
about.
and then I say that shit. You're like, no, we got fans, man. Don't be so negative. Like, people can say things.
3 or 4. I mean, I don't know where they are.
It seems like most of the people who listen to us have their own podcasts. They're like, we can do better than those two. And it's true. Go right ahead. You know, we're like punk music. We fucking, you know. You need skill, fucker. Just fucking get a podcast, get a computer, drink heavily, and say some shit. Rock and roll! You know.
God save the podcast?
Yeah. I love that your punk references are like tiny. Like, I think that's punk music.
I don't know shit about punk, man.
Presley, was he punk?
No. I know what punk ain't. I tell you that right now. I've never been a punk guy. I was never been fuck the establishment. Never been any of that horse shit. Because they all grow up to put on a tie.
That's not true. Many of them die young.
Well, maybe the ones that actually get into a band. Maybe the ones that actually get noticed in that band. But a lot of the fans,
You know what? Most people evolve.
You'd hope. At any rate, there's Mercury Heat 3 and 4.
All right, what do you got?
Well, they have found a body left over from issue 2. Lucas and Louisa have found it. And Lucas continues to be disgusting. As he simultaneously flirts and insults and damn near masturbates all over Louisa at turns. They've found a charred body with an implicating name carved into the wall. Mercy Chatwood, or Chirtwood, or Charwood. Chatwood. So they go to determine who the fuck this Mercy person is. And a couple of people tell her, well, she's okay, it's no big deal. And others are like, we should go see her now. So they go see her, and she attacks. But they get the help of a colony guy who explains why people don't like colonization on Mercury, which is, you know, a big backstory. It's a bunch of ecological horse shit. The planet doesn't belong to us. We shouldn't mine its energy. There's nothing on the fucker. Oh my God, stop it. Fucking message books. No, I don't think Gillen's giving us a message book. I think
not at all.
I think he's given us a fairly developed world, actually. So, this Mercy person is about to rip up, kill, hurt, maybe seriously inconvenience Louisa and Lucas, when the guy who brought them to him just punches her in half.
Well, he's not even a guy. He's like a train with a face. Like,
yeah. I don't think he's fused to the suit. He's in a mecha.
They did kind of hint at that, though. Like, his psychological profile for the body type was A+.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that Gillen's great at is that this is a fully developed world. Another thing he's great at is that he doesn't spoon feed it to you. On the downside, sometimes you're like, well, what the fuck? Is he this or is he that? You know?
Well, I mean, it took us till this issue and portions of 4 to finally figure out that, you know, a 57B is essentially a straight-up sociopath.
Dude, I actually really appreciated that. I thought it was like some sort of genetic code thing.
Yeah,
and
so did I.
This made a ton more sense to me.
Yeah,
So,
it's just an assigned number of a personality type.
Yeah, it was this is still nowhere near my favorite Gillen book, but I thought like they were developing it nicely.
Yeah,
and then the next issue where they go into her childhood and her choices and her need to not be a complete psychopath.
Yeah. Well, sociopath.
Yeah, fair enough.
Whatever.
But yes, I thought they did quite a few things well.
Yeah, no, I was very happy with it. They left us on a cliffhanger.
Of course.
Where she's trying to outrun the dawn on Mercury because there's only one heat survival suit in their transport.
Well, she does outrun it. Oh, you're talking about this one. You're going to 4 next.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, she does outrun it when she finds the facility they've been trying to get to, and she takes out a bunch of people. Wow. That shark just ate her ass up.
There might have been a dude. It's hard to tell when sharks are chewing on you. You know, dumbasses, go to the center of the boat where the shark can't bump you off.
It's so dumb. Anyway, she takes out this squad of assholes who are planning to sabotage the energy transfer and the ships that the energy is transferred to.
Yes. Yes, that's all I can really say there, because that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
It's okay, great, she did. Fine. And that's 2 issues of Mercury Heat.
I thought, like, there were a couple, like, this was a big move forward. This has not been my favorite Gillen book. I thought, like, her running was really well done. I still think there's a tone that has kind of a disconnect, and part of it being her being a straight up psychopath, sociopath, may play into that because she's not warm and likable.
Yeah. Well, the critical difference is she doesn't enjoy
Hurting people.
She just doesn't care if she does.
No, that's true. But at the same time, they also... It's not a character that you're drawn to. Like, they haven't...
No, certainly not. She's not a heroine.
So, and he's trying to give her a backstory that makes her more viably interesting that way, but they haven't completely pulled that off yet.
Not just yet. They got real close with 4, though.
It gets better each time. So I think, and when you have a strong world, and then they start salvaging the character, the super creepiness of the other guy, though... Like,
yeah, Lucas is just too much, man. He is a caricature. He's not...
Yeah, straight up pervy dick weasel.
Yeah, pretty much, man. I'm tired of reading him. Really? Can you please not tell me you want to bang Louisa again? Are you done? Because that's another... let's go, please. Thanks very much.
Oh,
is that...
Rob Van Dam saving the girl!
Oh, my God. Rob Van... Why did we have to have RVD? Because he needed to eat that week. Oh, my God. The thing eats 3 people at a time.
Well, it's got 3 heads. They're all equally hungry.
Now, the thing is, does it keep puking them up? Because it can't have a stomach. I mean, he's eating 15 people in this
Dude,
scene.
if you're legitimately trying to bring any kind of logic into this film, I say the nay. Danny Trejo just showed up with a boat, and RVD just pulled a hot girl off the side of the boat, like a different boat.
Looking incredibly earnest and concerned.
Well, that's acting for him.
That's as good as that shit gets.
For RVD, acting is staring at her eyes and not into her bikini top. That's like, all right, you want me to do what as a character? Oh, okay.
I would try that. Whatever. You know, I'm digging it more. It was
on the edge.
One and two was
I was
iffy.
booing enough to kind of get into your head a little bit, but it did show some dramatic improvements here.
Yeah, 1 and 2 were a little iffy. The concept was there, but a little too much was hidden at the time for me, and I was like, okay, we'll give it a minute. So that leaves us on to War Stories. So, if you remember, we are back with the Irish.
Of course, I remember that.
You may not have. I don't know. So, this is number 12.
I'm not the Reverend Mad Duck Gagliardi, okay?
Gagliardi. Wow. So, Hayes and Aiken have been caught by the Germans. And Aiken is beaten to get info out of Aiken. Aiken, that's not how it works. To get info out of Hayes. Right?
Yeah.
That's correct. They won't break, however, but they don't really have to, since a pair of Spitfires strafes the area and they kind of escape. They get back to post, and on the way back to post, Aiken tells Hayes the stupidly simple plan he had to find him for revenge vis-a-vis his poppy. Oh my God, that is... How could you possibly guarantee that if you joined the army, you would get the unit? It's only because all the Irish guys got together.
Well...
Joined together.
Well, he doesn't, but he does acknowledge that he went to the guy's house, talked to his mother, found out the unit he had joined, and then joined that unit.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about World War II. they were so desperate for people, you could say, well, I mean, I want to be with the paras. And they'd be like, fuck yeah, we need paras. We need everybody.
You're gonna die in 10 minutes anyway, dude. Get the fuck out there.
I mean, because, I was allowed to pick my job, but I wasn't allowed to pick where the fuck I went.
No, that's true, but that's because there's more specialization now and whatnot. Yeah. But when you joined in
we just need a fucker to die.
But there was also...
Is there a Mick in front of his name?
There was also a ton of organization in the service in general. Back then, like, where you joined was a key factor in where you ended up.
A lot like the Civil War.
Not as dry. The Civil War was like, we're fucking Middletownonians. Like, and then as they died, like, the Middletown unit has 8 guys like, well, fuck it, we don't have anybody else from Middletown. Tell them to hold the flank.
We'll mix them into the old...
We're 8 people, bitch!
We'll
mix we have a cannon or like a fucking sock puppet or some shit over here? Like, dear wife, I don't know if you're cheating, but send that bastard this way. Middletown unit is getting its ass whipped. Also, send more cookies. Love, Jebediah.
P.S. Send delousing kit.
Delousing kit was a match and a prayer.
Well, maybe a little kerosene too,
That's a barbecue.
There is a lot of fucking talk in this book. A whole lot of talk. There's a staggering amount of dialogue in this thing. It's nuts.
It is... It actually... Are you done with your review? Is that everything, or do you have more?
Well, I mean, they eventually find a Sturmgewehr, which is pretty cool, but they're like, why would you bother bringing that? When the fuck are you going to get ammo for it?
No, it wasn't about bringing it. They thought it was cool. It was, can I keep it? It's like, can you fire it? Can you, do you have any ammo? Do you know how to clean or use it? No. No, we're not going to carry that, rocket boy. I'm sure the 4 bullets you fired off would look awesome.
It's true, dude. But, I mean, I would definitely take the Sturmgewehr home. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. There's an assault on the final page. So... we're getting ready to wrap this story up.
Yeah, just a tad.
So, enjoyable. There's a bit of a tiny, tiny bit of history from the region.
It was kind of cool that it ended. It is quite possibly the least action-based of all of them. Like, almost nothing happens.
Yeah.
They see a lot of stuff, and nothing happens. But it was kind of cool that they end on this, like, built-up high point of them getting ready to do something. So you don't have to watch the unit die or any of that. And they didn't go, like the IRA thing could only have gone 2 ways, and it went the less stereotypical, like, because you're waiting there, like when they got away from the Germans, like, is he going to shoot him at the end of this fucking thing?
Well, he may have, It's not
no, he freely admits that it was a dumb idea to punish him for his dad's sins, and like, I'm ridiculous, like,
Well, eventually he does, but, I mean, there's been a lot of stories where you read, like, yes, it was a dumb decision, but I'm going to carry it out anyway.
That's true. And it could have gone that way, but it ended up being much stronger. I'm still waiting for the first one of these that really blows me away, though. You know what I mean?
They're solidly enjoyable, but they're not like, wow, that was good.
Yeah, not like Nightingale from the first series.
Yeah,
where you're just like, fuckles! We have to do this.
Yeah. No, but, the covers are nice, I suppose.
The nose art thing is pretty amusing, and they're always semi-enjoyable, but I haven't gotten the, like, keyline story, and I haven't gotten the, the weird historical piece. Like, okay, yes, there were Irish fighting in English battalions. Everybody knows that. That's not, and he has some facts at the end, but the story isn't as driven. Like, the guys that were firing the fucking gliders.
Yeah.
Like, that was shit. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah,
that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard of.
It is, and it's true.
Exactly. Or the Night Witches, Russian female pilot.
That was good to learn about. I dug that up later because I didn't know that.
Exactly. And so far, he has not been hitting those points of that more obscure...
It would be nice.
Yeah, I miss, the oddness of some of it.
I did dig up the 7-Day War, 30-second war, or whatever it was with the Israelis. Because they kill everybody in a blink of an eye. They're like, oh, my matzo soup isn't cold yet. Thanks, Mom.
Jesus Christ.
Well, that's how fast they kill motherfuckers. Really? You fight a war in 7 days? 6 countries come at you, and you're like, go fuck yourself. And they're like, okay, yes, sir, we were wrong. They kick some fucking ass.
That is true.
What else you want to say about it? Because we got Rebels. We Stand on Guard 3 next.
Stupid Canadian mecca.
It's a strange book. BKV is definitely stepping way outside of most of his other stuff with this one. So I guess you got nothing else to say. So we'll talk about...
No, that's not true. Do you apply? I actually had a couple points. There were 1 or 2 things that I really liked.
Wait, are you moving on?
No,
or are we still talking about war stories?
No, I'm talking about We Stand on...
Oh, yeah, okay.
There were 1 or 2 things I really liked.
Well, I was saying that you had finished with war stories.
Oh, yes, I'm totally done. And I'm done with that guy!
So, we get more flashbacks from Amber's early life on the run. Meeting a hobo on a train, which everybody has to do at some point or another. You know, it's a.
If you go on the run, hobos on trains are your basic.
It's a rite of passage.
You know what? If you're sitting there and you're on the run, a hobo on a train is your basic news source. And your best rape option.
Yeah, it's exposition and violence.
Yeah, you've got 2 real. It's gonna go one of 2 ways. Maybe it's either some facts about the government and some beans.
And we got lucky in this one because it is exposition.
Because there's no rape like hobo rape.
Oh, I don't even like that sentence at all.
Not a title?
No. Jesus, fuck. There's a little history lesson in there. He shows how far the Americans have gotten into Canada with their stupid mission of, we want your water, we used ours up. What, really?
Hi, I'm a comic book writer and I hate America.
Maybe. I don't know. Where's BKV from?
I have no idea.
Where the fuck was I? So, in current history, Amber and the team are trying to determine what to do about Vic, who is still alive from the last issue, but being virtually tortured.
Dude, that was fucked up.
That was some weird shit. Okay, great. Let's move on from the virtual torture, because that is a level of crazy pants I don't want to deal with.
Well, I think that was probably the highlight of this book. Like, you've got...
The torture's the best part.
No,
thanks,
really,
Rev.
Not in that. You know I'm a big fan of that kind of thing.
I'm fucking with you.
But at the same time, the whole concept of virtual reality, like, I'm going to burn your face off with kerosene, but you're going to not actually have it happen. You'll just have to live with that. Again and again. And that doesn't break her, so they bring out her cyber dad who's like, I'm going to make sweet, passionate love to you. And she just hands the shit over, like, nope, no.
She's like, yep, I don't need daddy's fleshy little dune worm coming out.
And I'm of 2 minds. On one hand, I'm like, dude, you just had your face burned off 45 times. But, yeah, daddy rape. And on the other hand, I'm like, ah! So I'm challenged by, And meanwhile, the team is falling the fuck apart without their leader. Shockingly.
Right. The whole story takes just a crap turn as the invasion gets justified. It's like V. I mean, V. I think BKV watched V.
Yeah, it's very
He had
possible.
a Jane Badler fetish, and he's like, I need to fulfill that. Oh, this is my story next. Ah.
Good God. Oh, but here's the thing.
Who else would pull out Jane Badler for you?
We're missing this. I gotta say. Once again, like, Vaughn is doing something that's driving me insane.
Yeah.
So, you've got 5 rebels left. You've got the dog guy with the one hand, the guy who only speaks French.
Right.
And then the other girl and guy, like, who'll have even less personality than those 2.
Right. They're not touched at all, really.
And then, of course, you've got our lead heroine girl with the rifle.
Amber, right.
But, here's my point. Since this girl that they found has shown up, like, 4 of them are dead, their leader is gone, their base is under attack.
Why are they trusting anything she has to
And
say?
she's like, we're all equals now. It's like, no, you're a fucking commie American spy super bitch, and we hate you. We hate you with, like, poison. Give us our precious and go the fuck away.
Oh my god, is this it? What's going to happen to this poor guy? Jumping off the prow of a ship with an axe in hand.
Nowhere near the shark, but oh yeah, that looks totally fake.
Oh, he's surfing the shark with an axe, and it's Finn.
Oh, this movie is like monkeypox bad.
Holy crap, that's amazing. And you can see the water from the jet ski on the close-up.
Oh, God, I can't recommend this film not enough.
And like I said, eventually Vic breaks down. But the thing that kills me about these resource problems, and I've said it before about things like V and other, like...
Never seen V.
Well, it's just as well for you then.
Yeah. I've been V-free.
In V, they came for our water. Because they can travel superluminally, but they can't combine oxygen and hydrogen.
Yeah, that don't make a lick of sense.
Nope. Same thing here. They have repulsor vehicles. They have gigantic mecha, but they can't make a hydrogen fuel cell because the main byproduct of that is water.
I always like to think that they've just come across like all this shit. Like, hey, we've got giant space guns and lasers and lizard face masks to make us look human. There's this big box from over here. All right, well, I'm parched. Let's go invade Earth. Like, and yes, I've seen enough of V to know they were lizards. That's the extent of it. Wasn't there a Marvel V book that did not last long at all?
It was DC.
Why do you know that?
Because I almost bought some at the last con.
I would totally.
I got very
I found
close.
a Logan's Run. I'm like, I gotta find the other 6 of these. Which is how fucked up my mind is. It's like, I have one. How do I get the other 6? Never mind, is this good? It's like, I need 6 more Logan's Run or my world is not complete. No wonder my wife fucking hates me.
For people our age, Logan's Run has a certain... You didn't even read it?
Nope.
Wow, then why the fuck would you then?
Because it's just like, oh, it's so strange. Like...
It's one of the first sci-fi movies I saw.
It's like a 5-part adaptation, and then there's a two issues that go past it, and they're like, "No, we're not doing this." It's like we came to our senses. It's fucking Logan's Run, people. It's like they knew that people were going to look back and be like, "Holy 70s, Batman!"
Yeah, they even gave us a TV show for a while.
Yeah, recently in the last 10 years, there was a Logan's Run series.
No, from the 70s.
Which I thought there was a revamp.
I heard that there was talk of it.
Oh,
I don't know that they actually produced it.
Is that like Logan's Walk though? Like, do you have to move slower to kind of drag it out for a TV show?
Well, after all these years, it's
Logan's Claw.
Logan's Walker.
Nice.
Logan Zimmer in the old home. Logan's Runabout.
So bad.
What do they call that? Logan's Bluebird. What are those things?
Bluebird?
There's a lot of brand names for these things.
Segway?
Runabouts. Segway. Logan's Segway.
There you go.
Ew. That's terrible, dude. I don't know what you're going to do with that.
Oh, hey.
Imagine that. Danny Trejo has a cache of guns on his boat.
Why didn't you mention this shit when there were fucking 20 more of us, dude?
So bad. I don't think there's anything else to mention about this book, man.
No.
There really isn't. So Rebel 6 brings us a whole bunch of other drama. Seth makes it home. But his son doesn't give a shit because he doesn't know him.
And his wife is none too happy with him.
No, Mercy finally gets to vent to the source of her anger. So much so that she declares that they're not married anymore. She's like, nope, you've been gone. I almost had you declared dead, for fuck's sake. I mean, you didn't say shit. You didn't come back. You passed through the region and you didn't stop. You have not been a husband. You have not been a father. And all because you think of these higher ideals, which,
Or maybe you just need to fight more.
Yeah, that could be it too. We get a flashback to the days before his separation, cleaning out, loyalists and facing barely contained rage from a loyalist he has to shack up with. And it's going to be a long couple years for him while she, lets him regain the trust and love of the family.
If ever.
Yes.
But here's my thing. Like, you like Rebels. You like Rebels a lot.
It's good.
I loved Rebels. I hated this issue. I thought the need to build a relationship with the son and Mercy's anger were both interesting.
Yeah.
However, everything that happened, like, the war is fucking over for. It's been 6 years. Fucking, is this the, like, are they going to, the Rebels book is apparently just short stories?
I think that's what they had planned, yeah.
I hate that. Like, I love the Seth character. I thought they were, like, Ezekiel died off panel? Like, what the
Yeah, that
fuck?
was disappointing.
Like, this book had so many legs to build, and they're just like, oh, I want to tell another story.
Yeah.
Washington goes to a whorehouse. What the fuck?
Washington slept around here.
Like, this went from a must-buy graphic to...
Well, I mean, the consequences aren't particularly interesting, but they're totally expected. Mercy has, from the get-go, been like, you need to fucking stick around, dude.
No, I love the fact the way she was holding it. It's like, you know, you'll have to re-seduce me and re-woo me, and we are not friendly right now, and I am not inclined towards that right now. And the thoughts he has, like, I love that character, though. I'm like, dang, but I wanted to see him through the whole fucking war, not fucking... And 6 years have passed since issue 5. Fuckles!
It would be nice that a war book had some war in it.
You know, like, we drag those cans. We didn't even see a damn battle.
No, we totally...
see a little one here.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Breed's Bunker Hill mission meant nothing to us. Because it meant nothing to Seth. Because it was like, yeah, I had to have that guy... I had to have something for that guy to do, so... But you were in charge the whole time. Even though I didn't tell you.
No.
And even though I was being aristocratic ass to you. Because you're just a country boy, and I'm from Virginia land.
No, dude. I was so frustrated. And the writing is so on point and so good that I still have to recommend this book. But this is not what I wanted at all. I am not dying to see a fucking bunch of 6-issue Revolutionary War miniseries.
I don't know.
Could they be good? Yes, but do you really think there's going to be that many things that happen? They're going to be better than the continuing slow build of Seth's story?
Probably not.
So I
because
feel like
he can't go back to that well now.
Yeah, no, I mean, we already know Ezekiel, like, it's done. Like, he's done with that character. For him, like, for me, this was a giant epic of Seth's time in the Revolutionary War. You know, being a leader and being involved. And for him, it's like, well, let's get through Seth. We can get to the next story where fucking we tell how Washington got his wooden teeth. He carved them! Fucking super!
You know, that may be one of the cherry tree style myths. I want to know. I don't want to know. No, I don't. I totally don't. But, you know, if they solicited that as, you know, arcs of stories, that would be one thing. We'd have known that going in. We wouldn't have been... I mean,
would you have bought it necessarily?
Probably, because this is an era that's... Oh, my fucking fuck. That was terrible. This show has to go, man. Danny Trejo just cut the head off an 80-foot shark with 2 other heads to spare.
No, it was...
With a machete. And don't think that wasn't a reference somewhere.
Oh, just a little bit. All right, what's next? That's it.
No, I think the Revolution is sadly undercovered in comics. Especially considering how many other areas are overwrought in comics. So... I guess it's Shark State for the state, huh? They're going to be grilling that fucker up for a long time.
No, don't fuck with Danny Trejo is what this comes down to.
Pretty much, yeah. And he didn't even come in until the 3rd act.
Well, you know. There was so much to the first 2.
Well, there was almost nothing to the first 4. And Baltimore Cult of the Red King 5 doesn't really add to it.
Apparently you discovered recently we missed a ton of Baltimore.
Yeah, at least 3 of them.
Okay, so maybe
at least 3.
Because I've been bitching for a while now, and I even said we must, and you're like, no, I don't think so. So apparently, and I'm not claiming genius here, it's just like, the most confusing shit ever has occurred.
I don't know their places, though. I think they're older than the last few things we've been picking up.
Yeah, it must be when he started, you know, since the team aspect built into it.
Of course the thing revives and eats Danny Trejo.
They took one head off. There's still 2 more.
Yeah, but they should have bled to death by now. Come on.
Oh, yeah, come on. Like, again, science has little to nothing to do with this.
Anyhow. Over in St. Petersburg, right?
Right.
The fight is going well as Rigo disrupts the witch's control over the town and Childress. Right?
Right.
over in Carthage, the team is still escaping from the cultists and, again, the Dementors.
They totally are.
Aren't they? Right? Well, they're getting away with Hodge's notes about the whole situation. They flip back again to St. Petersburg, where the fight is all but over as the witches burn. One of them actually ending up killing Childress, which is, who cares? Because he meant nothing in the first issue where he got carried away by that witch.
Well,
and then he got converted, and then we didn't care, and then Baltimore was mad about it because they're pals. The
thing of it is that you have to recognize is that Childress was the last person who knew Baltimore before his life sucked.
Right, but they didn't give us a whole lot of that. They just had to say that.
Well, I mean, maybe it was in the book. Maybe he's been referencing those missing ones.
Yeah.
The thing I thought was interesting is, like, what, I assume the name of one of the ones that you ordered that we have not read is called Baltimore Hates Witches, because we moved from vampires pretty dramatically to witches in the recent past.
I really like it if they went back to vampires.
But Baltimore is a miserable, miserable human being. This brought that home a lot more. I thought, like, backstory was much better than, like, the key elements of the witch fight. Like, him setting fire with the dolls, okay, whatever. But watching the witches burn, being like, I'm on fire, what the fuck? That was kind of funny. I love the Dementor thing with the other team, and the captain sacrificing himself. That dude was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I did dig those pages.
But the other piece of that is then they leave one mask on the guy who then they get him to the boat and he's dead. It's like, well, we probably should have saved the captain. They made a poor choice. Hodges is gone. The captain is gone. So it's just the giant, like, it's a dark, dark book. All of Mignola books are just covered in gloom now.
I don't know. Hellboy in Hell is pretty light at points.
He's in hell.
Yeah,
he's dead.
But it's still him.
We'll readdress this when we get to Hellboy in Hell.
I suppose.
I'm going to crush this argument, but there's a time and place for these things.
Eventually, the Carthage team escapes, and Baltimore interrogates the last witch. You
look like you're in a lot of pain. I can help end that, but only if you tell me the following.
Yeah, well, he's not a nice guy, so it's okay.
So true. So true.
Not my favorite one, but it's reasonable, I suppose. I'll bet it goes better reading all 5 of them in a row.
Probably. I mean, it was stronger than the last couple. I think Baltimore is just going differently than you were hoping for, and it's becoming less of your pinnacle book, really.
Yeah, it is. But,
unfortunately.
There's almost certainly going to... I mean, they left it wide the fuck up, beyond wide open. I mean, this is begging for another miniseries, so I don't think...
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. So we'll see how the next one goes. The next one that's going here is Revival 33. Like usual, this is huge and plot heavy and flippity floppity and backity forthity and omnigodity. M is apprehended as a reviver and sent to the farm where she is assigned a counselor. Said counselor has a talk with the general about how cool revivers and learning about revivers is. Yeah, this is a thing. It's history. It's good stuff. At home, the general and her wife hear about their son's day, which, really, this is what you're blowing pages on?
I like the fact that they make a concerted effort to give everybody a real identity.
Yeah, what are they going to use? Man, okay, what the fuck? It grew 5 more heads?
It's a Hydra shark.
I don't want to deal with that. Anyway, okay, so right, if you're going to have a character, make a character rather than a cardboard cutout. I get that.
And even that, you have the general talking about her relationship without revealing it's with another woman to a stranger. But then, dealing, the speech with her son was really cool, where she's like, hey, I envy the fact that you're going to grow up in a world where those kind of, mullet-headed moron types are going to be the minority, and you won't have to think about that on a daily basis. And then it goes even further into, guess what? we're having troubles in our relationship because I think you cheated on me and you chose me, but, back and forth. So even when you go into the stereotypical...
Yes?
He still turns it, makes it... You've got a relationship drama on top of that. There's constantly depth to these characters. The downside of that is that nothing fucking happens regularly because there's so much depth to the characters.
That's all true. Because all the rest of the book is the counselor's observations of M and an encounter with Rhodey and various encounters with other revivers. So it's just yappity, 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 and there's no actiony. So it's... yeah, and the infidelity issues were a nice twist because it's easy to say, all right, well, we have this character and people should know about her. Let's just send her home and everything's hunky-dory.
It develops right away. It's like, boom, here's a character, here's who she is, here's what's important to her, here are her flaws, or here are the issues she's dealing with. There's depth there, and that's important.
But is this going to be used to inform the character's actions, though, or is it just, this is her? Holy shit, the shark jumped on the boat exploded. And it's going to get away. It's going to get away.
They were on 2 different boats, so it just killed half the remaining cast and one fell through.
Terribleness. No, I'm curious. Are they going to use that to have her make decisions about revivers in some capacity or another? Or is that just, this is who she is?
It just means she's got stuff that she's dealing with simultaneous to the revival. It's like Walking Dead. Like, just because there's a zombie apocalypse doesn't mean that you're not an asshat. It doesn't mean that you're not claustrophobic or ticklish or...
Really?
People
ticklish.
are still people. Dude, think about that. You're trying to run from zombies and one of them gets a tan and is like, stop it, dummy, you make me laugh.
Wow. That's all kinds of buggered up. Cause of death, tickled by a zombie.
Hey, when you're laughing, it's harder to run and flee and fight successfully,
Well, that is true. Right. I don't know. I kind of want to let you run with Atomic Robo, Ring of Fire.
No, do your thing.
Well, we have a new Atomic Robo mini, and it's called Ring of Fire. This is the first issue. And one of the characters that we've dealt with over many other miniseries is Bernard.
Right.
Or, as the English say, Bernard.
Bernard.
Bernard is drinking and watching the news of Tesladyne's latest operations. And they're doing operations because they've been taken over by Ultra. They're now apparently a paramilitary science organization for some bizarro reason. Anyway, he is approached by Lang, who proposes they can get Robo back. They meet the rest of the team, and the team tells Bernard that Dr. Dinosaur's detonation didn't act like a nuke, but ended up sending Robo back in time, as we knew.
Right.
As we knew what
Since
happened.
we knew he's been in the Old West.
There's plenty of valid but verbose and unending technobabble. And I like sciencey talk, but there was a lot of it. It almost wouldn't end.
The book is still funny, but it's falling into that Hellboy, seriouser and seriouser.
Yeah. He needs to start saying shit like banana oil again.
Right. Dr. Dinosaur is a nice cure-all for that, but then when he leaves, it's right back to,
There's some action happening over at Big Science Tokyo, where General Brooks can't get to the giant mech data that Tesladyne has encrypted or whatever, and she tries to coerce Director Hokuto for it, fearing a Biomega attack. Now, if we remember, the whole Biomega thing is just kaiju stuff, but that's from 2 miniseries ago.
They're bringing the strong thing about this. Let me just first get this little small, technical, tiny little detail out of the way.
Okay.
Just bring Robo back! Oh, thank you. Here's the thing. Like, Robo has never been great at backstory. But at the same time, it's awesome at backstory because it's very subtly introduced these characters and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't necessarily know every name. Like, for a while, the scientists had no names. They were just interchangeable period scientists.
Yeah, their names were mentioned like once an issue and easily forgotten.
But slowly, Robo has been building all these separate elements that it suddenly brings together in this book coherently. So there's a mosaic quality to this fucking book that suddenly everything is pieced together, an entirely different storyline appears.
Yeah.
Which is beyond awesome.
That is great. And I do appreciate that, but
just bring Robo back!
Are we going to arc back and have fun again? Or is it going to tell me it's not going to go fucking grimdark on us?
It's not. They're a different writing style. I don't even like saying the Hellboy thing because they've already, when this book first came out, I made that comparison. And then they made points in one of their introductions about how it's not a valid comparison. I'm like, well, that's actually a good point. But at the same time, like, yeah, as you grow as a writer, there's a tendency, to go deeper and more meaningful. And sometimes you just need light and fun. And Skull Kickers is gone, so give me Robo. Give me the Robo I want. I deserve it. I've been good. I didn't drink for like 2 days. Like, just give me Robo.
That's what you think is this? 2 whole days. Oh my God, set a record.
2 more than usual.
Well, that's true too. Anyway, yeah, so that's all valid and it all makes sense. But now we have to turn just the opposite way again. And we're on the last issue we're going to have of this fucking thing.
What's it?
I am done with Outcast with number 12.
Interesting.
Done.
Again, the book
just as it fucking starts to turn up. I don't know about better. It's ramping up in consequences and plot threads weaving back and forth. I don't necessarily think it's getting better with this issue.
I'm going to disagree, but you do your thing first.
You can do that.
Well,
I ain't going to fucking stop you.
Hey, you buy what you want, but I'm going to give you my take, but you go ahead and do your review.
Alright, so Megan's possession is in full swing, and she attacks her husband and kid. They get away and call Kyle, who's been discussing his and the pastor's place/role in this whole thingamajigger. They theorize that the extent and nature of possession, about the extent and nature of possession.
Right.
There was no extra comma in there. While the husband takes them to exorcise Megan, whose demon is having none of it. He's like, I ain't going no fucking place. I don't care what you bring to me. It reveals Kyle has a role, but per usual, won't explain that. It's not allowed to. You can't have a story where that happens. I'm the bad guy, and I'm going to reveal something, but I'm going to hold on to it while you stew for a minute.
Well, that would have been awful. Let's be fair.
It tries to take Kyle, but fails, and Kyle vows an end to all possession. But okay, that's better. That's better. I don't know that it's strictly gotten. 13 would have had to have been amazing, and really showed me some shit.
Okay, here's the thing. I have no problem with you ending this book. It is like it's literally just misery dripping on the side of my wall at this point. But if you look at this book objectively from this issue,
yeah,
you've got Kyle embracing his power.
Yeah.
So it's a 12-issue arc to him be going like, no, I'm going to do something. I'm done letting things happen to me. And you also have him abandoning God in this scenario. And I'm not saying he's abandoning God, like he's not a religious guy. He's telling the priest, like, forget your fake book, dude. Like, that's not helping. Like, the moment where they throw the holy water and it sizzles, and they did that perfectly, because I'm like, oh, the priest does have a point. Then he goes over and he throws it and it sizzles again. It's like, well, tap water does that, too. And the priest is like, come on! Dick! Just because you're a possession freak does not make you like, that was just obnoxious.
So these demons are just the aliens from Signs?
It explains so little. No, it was just... I felt like Kyle, his sister being possessed, the cop brother suddenly having to accept a whole new rule. Like, everything tweaked in this book in a much better way.
Yeah.
So, like, am I going to miss this book? Not really. But if you were like, you know what, I'm getting 4 more. At this point, I'm like, all right, well, because now Kyle going towards this could make for very different stakes.
It might have been a little premature. You know, I might have stopped at 14.
I don't think so. I don't think dumping a book that you're not enjoying at 12 is premature at all. I think you're entirely validated in doing that. It's just frustrating that at 12 it's like, and now, turn! Fucker!
It is a bit, yeah. But we're closing in now. Karush? What a name. We're closing in now with Fade Out. We're in the final stretch, the last act. There's only 3 more after this.
I'll miss Fade Out.
Yeah, I will too. This is number 9. So, like usual, it's nothing but development, page. Different happening, different place, different thing. Things move so amazingly quickly inside the book. Not as an arc, really, but inside each book is like, here's Dottie, here's Charlie, here's Val, here's fucking the security guy. It's just page. It's crazy. So, in this one, Charlie goes to his ex's house, her name's Rebecca, to get his old army pistol because he's starting to lose his shit now and he wants to go, like, shoot the security guy and get all the secrets from his office or whatever. So, and he flashes back to his own convalescence after the war with her. He gets home and Gil comes by and Charlie berates Gil for his blackmail plans because it was ridiculous. A whole $1,000 for blackmail? Even in the 40s, that's not, like, nobody's taking you seriously for that shit.
But Gil isn't interested in blackmail. He's interested in justice. Gil is... The thing is, they really do a great job in this issue of revealing a lot without having much happen.
Yeah. They go back to the early writing days of Gil and Charlie.
Their relationship. That, like...
Including the fact that they won an Oscar.
Charlie won an Oscar. Gil did not.
Well, I mean,
and that's the important point, is that Gil is an okay writer who understands how the system works.
Yeah.
Charlie is a phenomenal writer who doesn't understand shit.
Yeah.
Gil finds himself finding himself again through Charlie. Then Charlie goes to war, and his life is fucked as a result.
Yeah.
And Gil takes him in, at which point... Gil, who's already a drinking failure, watches his wife screw Charlie to try and cheer him up. It's like, oh, you're sweet, honey. I don't really love... Like, we could have made him a cake, though.
Yeah, her implication was that they were swingers anyway.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm not sure that was Gil's.
Well, I mean, you know...
It's about fulfilling need and love and not necessarily... relationships.
Yeah.
But from Gil's perspective, it's kind of sucky.
It's a
and
lot
from
sucky.
Charlie's perspective, it's kind of awkward. And so a relationship built on 2 levels of guilt for very different things comes into play.
Yeah.
Gil envies Charlie for the life that he wanted to have, and Charlie feels he owes Gil for taking parts of the life that he did have.
Yeah.
So they're in this and then Gil constantly can't get out of his own way of fucking up. Which inherently is the way you felt about me for years. Like, dude, shut up. Don't say that. Don't do that. Shay, like, just stop. So they're just meshed in ways that I can very well relate to. Because relationships, if ending a relationship was easy, everybody would be single. Because you have a bad day. And, like, when you're in high school, one bad day and your relationship's over.
Yeah.
Not always, but all it takes is one bad day. Like, we're done. Fuck it, we're done. And so many things die that way. But when you own property together and things like that, it's not cutting one cord anymore. It's cutting 57,000 fucking cords. Yes, I've thought about that. And as a result, things are much more challenging. So... Like, yeah, Charlie and Gil walking away from each other only inherently makes sense. But
wow, the killer with the cardigan.
It's far too challenging to do that successfully. So they're trapped with each other in a sense, and they both recognize that and appreciate and regret it equally. So there's a real depth to everything that Brubaker does, but whenever he gets involved with Phillips, it's like, oh, we're just going to kick that up a couple of notches.
So, pretty enjoyable. That's the final judgment, really?
Oh, yeah, fucking love it. Like, love it.
Wow, we're over an hour, so maybe we should talk about Hellboy and Hell 8.
All right, go ahead.
I had to reread this and the last issue like 3 times. Because I didn't know who was whom, when.
It gets convoluted.
A little bit. Cornelius is still after Hoffman, who sends Hellboy to distract Cornelius as Hoffman sets up a dead cat trap. What?
Always creepy.
The cat gets loose, though, and Hellboy has to punch it out, which amused the
Oh, yeah. Anytime Hellboy punches things, you're going to enjoy yourself.
Hellboy goes through a quick origin for Cornelius because they haven't really met each other outside that court the previous issue. So they just showed up as, we need you, dude. Oh, you're innocent? Even better. Let's go. I mean, that's what happened last issue right there. His newly revealed half-sister can't stand that, however. Newly revealed to me.
No, I mean, she's shown up. I believe you've seen her. I believe that little moment where he's like, oh, we've met. And they show little Hellboy with her. I think that was one of the ones we've read. Like, it was like a 2-page thing.
I totally didn't catch it, though.
Well, they're so far apart when these things come out. It's very challenging to remember subtleties.
Yeah. The Furies take her because she leveled a false accusation, and they send her to see Satan's corpse, which drives her mad, and her screams destroy pandemonium. Which is, when you got a supernatural book, that seems reasonable.
See, you're looking this as a light, like, ooh, demon having demon things.
Hello?
But the point I'm making is, from the dark, here's Hellboy finding out his stepsister is holding responsible for the death of his father and brothers.
Right.
6 of Furies on him, who believe him. So now they're double punishing her, and he asks when she's going to be freed, because that's just more guilt on Hell. Like, his last remaining sibling hates him for the death of his family, and then is tortured unto madness because he reveals that he didn't do it.
Yeah.
That is some bleak, dark shit.
Yeah. But
punching a cat doesn't really offset it.
Well, not completely, no. But it goes a long way toward, you have a slight downward arc, and then you have a little spike of ha-ha, and it levels off at a slightly higher level because of that.
No, there have been a couple of Hellboys who didn't have the ha-ha. I'll give you that much. All I'm saying is there's still like an unrelenting darkness. And then the final page is just Hellboy sitting in hell, smoking, or...
Well, I mean, he's in charge now. He's the heir apparent.
I'm not sure he's accepted that, though. He just seems to be sitting, not on
Well, no, he doesn't like it, but, I mean, heavy lies the head with the crown off to the peak or some shit. Like, I don't know what it is. What's the phrase?
Heavy lies the head that wears the crown. Variation there.
Is that okay? See, it wasn't that far off.
Oh yeah, no,
I'm just stupid.
Mumbly fucking ridiculousness. Heavier hats with fucking horns and cookies.
You throw in a Bollywood fucking assassination movie for me now?
Yes, I do.
This is very strange. And that one guy looks like fucking Balky.
Kill Bill or something?
I guess. I don't know. Doesn't he look like Balky?
Well,
on the left. Him. With
that argument could be made.
The frightening character right there that I don't want to see twitch like that anymore. Do you want to say anything else? Because we got Harrow County to get to.
No, it's always a good book. Mignola just gets better and better. I miss a Hellboy where laughter is more consistent, but I suspect if you go back, you remember the funny bits and not even the inherent darkness that was everywhere.
Okay. You know, you've read 700,000 more Hellboys than I have.
That's true.
So, you've got a greater appreciation of the whole milieu.
I need to go back and revisit them, though. I gotta find the missing period that I haven't read where Hellboy fucking died. Missed that one.
That might have happened in BPRD. I don't know.
No, I think it was in The Fury.
Okay. Well, at any rate, there's Harrow County 5 to consider. And I don't have a lot about that. See, because Emmy has taken her new role as a benevolent witch and friend to the Haints. She's taken to it quite effectively, and she likes it, as a matter of fact. She helps the townies and negotiates cohabitation deals with little demony things, but vehemently refuses to deal in harmful acts as one jackass wants her to do.
Well, you finish your thing and I'll go back to that because I think that was very telling.
She talks with the Skinless Boy about... No, Skinless Boy and Bernice shows up, noting she's a creation of Hester's... What? A sister, air quotes, shows up at the end.
Super intriguing.
Yeah.
So there's a couple cool things. Like, she's totally embraced her role, and like the Haint Charmer is kind of adorable in a weird kind of way.
Yeah, a bit.
And then there's a moment out in the woods where she visits a Haint that's freed itself, and she gets nervous to a degree that the Haints can do that. But it's not. Is she nervous that they can, or that can she teach them so they can have better lives? Like, she's a very upbeat, optimistic character.
Yeah, and that's nice.
And that friendship quotient where, you know, she's forgiven her father and she's forgiven her friend, and her friend comes to her, it's like, I'm not sure what I, like, you know, if my grandfather was made up by your witchy kinfolk, what the hell am I?
Right.
Which is a really good question. And the variety of Haints is kind of interesting. But what was most telling is when that guy comes and he asks her to hex another dude because his wife was making eyes at him.
Right.
And she's like, I will never. Are the Haints trying to tempt her because it's more fun for a Haint when there's a full-on fucked up super witch out there? So because that a look of glee when he gets rejected, that's pretty fucking weird. So there's a dark underbelly to her upbeatness.
Oh, sure.
Floating around the rest of the town. It's like, you know, are the Haints happy that the witch is positive? And it doesn't necessarily seem to go that way.
Well, I mean, it's not really clear what most Haint's motivations are. I mean, the one that she negotiated with...
Well, they ain't talking.
Oh, my fucking God. Why did you... Ugh! Level of frustration with you sometimes is through the goddamn roof. Do you know that, right?
Rough.
The roof. Through the roof. You do this to me. You know that.
Finger guns.
Pow, pow, pow.
Alright, finish this sucker up.
There's only two, so it's not too bad. Big Trouble in Little China 16. Jack and Old Boy get to the truck, but they are set upon by turtle frog demons.
Kappas.
Which amused me.
Yeah, well, I mean, the only reason we're familiar with Kappas, in all honesty, is fucking Yosagi Yojimbo there. Turtles with a bowl for a head. Yeah.
Now, when the Collector realizes they have some of his data, so he's like, alright, now I gotta go after your dumbass. Jack calls for help on the CB, which he... Oh my God, it really is called Kill Dill. What the hell? So, where was I? CB. And he's like, of course everybody's still on CBs. What are you talking about? There's got to be somebody out there. No, dummy. No, dummy. Winona shoots the Kappas, which I still want to call Little Frog Demon Turtle Boys.
Hey, you go right ahead.
They come to a natural end, though. And meanwhile, Eddie gets a lead on Margot and embezzles Wang's restaurant to go find her.
And sticks a needle in his neck.
Oops.
Eddie is a freak.
Eddie's not a cool guy. The Van Lenthe's doing okay with it. I don't laugh as much as I did previously.
It is not as full-on crazy bizarre, but it's
there are
like
amusing
it's
aspects.
actually crazier if you like. the Simon and Simon A team, and we missed an issue somewhere because there were a team of 4 with the robot and the dancing guy, and
I don't think so. You can look in the piles, but I don't. Yeah,
we're definitely missing 11 or 12. What's
Really?
that one? 14,
16.
16. Yeah, then maybe 13 or 14. We did some. It probably didn't. I mean, God only knows what the shipping.
Well,
Of all the titles to catch, Big Trouble in Little China sticks out a tad.
I wish you told me that though. When did you discover that?
Oh, a while back. It's not a big deal.
I'd have arranged it. Come on now.
I'd have gotten your shit done.
It
I'd have gotten back to you with the requirements.
madness.
My nephews have latched on to Animaniacs now. So
Because it's amazing.
yeah. So for the last day and a half, roughly, I've been hearing the God Pigeon says you're gonna die. We sang the theme song and the Pinky and the Brain song yesterday.
Dude, nothing tops Pinky and the Brain. That shit's fucking epic. I know you and your God Pigeon, but yeah, Pinky and the Brain is key.
Are you pondering what I'm pondering, Pinky? I think so, Brain, but this time I want to be the dishwasher repair man. And that's a real one that was on television. I didn't make that up. That's real.
So fucking good.
So, I think it's not as funny. You think...
It's not. It's funny in a different way. Van Lente is...
He does things that are
There's always these
amusing.
giant conspiracies. And now we've gone from Jack Burton in the 80s and in hell to Jack Burton in the current era, so there's always going to be differences.
Yeah, but I think he's playing the fish out of water thing a little too much, almost.
Well, Jack Burton is a very... I think if anybody was going to be that out and what it would be the quintessential 80s guy, you know.
Yeah, but it's been 3 issues, and I don't give a shit anymore. I just want some, give me some action and make a joke that isn't based on going, you people and your hardware, I don't care, just give a shit, man. You hear that shit enough every day from general people.
Well, you know what? It's always...
Yeah?
There's a real truth. And I don't think it's possible to fully understand this. If you were to look at... When did that movie come out? 1985?
85, 86.
Okay. We'll say 85 for the purpose of this. I'm not guaranteeing it.
Yeah?
If something in 1985... If you went into a coma and you woke up now, the amount the world has changed is mind-blowing. If you wake up 3 years from now, the amount that the world has changed. My phone can do more than a supercomputer. And this shit breaks if I look at it. Like, the world is insane.
I think we all get that, though, and he's just milking it.
But that's the thing. Like, we
Maybe
get it
if it
because
was
it's evolved over time. But to get it all at once, in public, surrounded by demons, and the 80s Simon and Simon A-Team Super Team.
You know what? If you're going to make jokes, you have to make jokes that will make me laugh. Or I just look at you like you're one of my nephews trying to pull out a stupid pun again.
But the Kappas were kind of funny. And
I was amused by that.
if you can't find the Rambo guy getting trapped into the Aha video box, kind of funny, because that shit was hysterical. And then he's slamming on it to break out. Come on!
All right, I had totally forgotten about that.
That was
part.
amazing.
I had totally forgotten that.
Take on me. No, that shit was funny as fuck. It has to find a tone. Like, this can't last forever, but it should last a while because it is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Like, when the last portable phone you saw was Gordon Gekko's fucking McDonald's Happy Meal size fucking super phone.
I see it. No, I just... It's clear where he wants you to laugh. It's just not making me do so.
Well, you always want to like Van Lente, and he doesn't write to you. You guys have like it's never been an author you connected with particularly well. I think you'd agree with that.
Yeah.
But like his ideas, you always were like, "Oh, that looks cool," but Van Lente just wants to ruin it for me. And you even like the dude.
Well, I don't know if I'd say it like that.
No, but he goes left when you want him to go right, or he takes a scenic route. He never goes where you want him to go in the way you want him to go. And there are always going to be people like that.
Yeah. I can see that. I don't care anymore.
Stop proving your point, fucker!
It's fine, I get it. Jesus. Invisible Republic 6 will end our show. For this episode.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, see? I know where you're going. I know all about you. So this is number 6. In the current time period, the Baroness Pananica, or however the fuck you pronounce her name, Pananica, has returned from exile amid rumors of her funding anti-McBride insurgencies. Meanwhile, Bab, I hate that name so much. I can't even write it down so I can read it. Bab, Kroger Bab, Croger Bab.
Just think Bab's funny.
I suppose. Babs. And his partner, Warnoff, right? Warnoff?
Yeah.
Warnoff. Are taking to an undisclosed location to meet the now 60-plus Maya. She's kind of old. It's been quite some time since, the initial storylines here. In the past, Maya details her early days in the insurgency while Lewis convalesces, including that while Arthur does bombings, he's little more than a figurehead, actually. Maya eventually? I think I'll cut that one out.
Man, you probably won't.
Maya eventually catches him sleeping with Pananica.
I love the moment where they were like, all right, he's more of our mascot. Like, he's only a
That was
figurehead
good.
because he's banging
That
the
was
money.
good. He's banging the money. It's terrible, dude. It's terrible. That sentence is just horrible.
And yet so right.
And accurate, really. So, this was better because now there's actual developments instead of, bees, I guess. We blew stuff up, but nobody really cares or something. And, but now Maya's coming in and she's going to fuck everybody up. So, I'm more intrigued now with Invisible Republic than the last couple of issues.
I like the concept. I just don't care enough. It's not in any way awful, and they do neat things occasionally.
Yeah.
And they've done a really good job making, if you remove Croger Bab, who I fucking despise, whiny writer douche, then most of the characters, they've done a great job of making these people interesting. Like, look at the fucking Canadian rebels in So Shall They Stand, or whatever the hell you call it.
We stand on guard.
Yeah, there you go. Versus these guys, in one fucking panel, they have more personality revealed. I like dogs, and I'm not so much about women. All right, got you. And over here, it's like, these people. He seems to be. There's a sense of money thing. You, with less writing and more authoring.
Okay.
Can't believe I had to say that. So much more is done. So there's a lot of thought going into this book, and it is well written.
Yeah.
I just want it to, I want to understand it, to like it, and I don't really get it.
Because we don't know. I have either forgotten or never caught why there was a need for revolution.
Well, I mean, the world building kind of sucks. So there, you might as well rebel. Things are unpleasant. Let's rebel. Okay, I guess I see that. On the other hand,
yeah.
Why are you? Why is everybody hunting an unknown diary at the same time?
Yeah, what the fuck is in there that's so goddamn important?
Let's be super clear here. Have you ever kept a diary?
No.
All right, let's say you had.
Yeah.
1987. The AJ Chronicle. If 50 years from now...
Yeah.
All right, let's go full force with this.
Come on, let's do it.
Let's say that somehow I become iconic.
Yeah.
Probably as a serial killer. Like, the odds of anything more impressive than that are unlikely.
As are those.
True, but I'm just saying, like, the only way I see me being an icon in anything is probably serial murder. The odds of me picking anything up and doing well with it at this point, fairly small. But
The problem with that being, I would have to tell you how to dispose of shit.
oh yeah, no, I just leave shit lying around. Like, socks, corpses, it's all the same thing. But if suddenly, like, your diary of our day-to-day life hanging out, which back then would have been, fucking Bill's annoying. Fucker poked me with a pencil again.
I found you quite humorous back then, actually.
True, but annoying nonetheless. But the point I'm trying to make is, if 50 years from now you're like, where's my 1987 fucking diary? Like, no! Nobody knows where that shit is. Like, oh, you know where all the poetry I wrote in the fucking 90s is? I burnt that shit. It's in a landfill, rotting where it belongs.
I own almost nothing now that I owned 15 years ago.
Exactly. You know what? Maybe a shirt, books, obviously, some comics.
Yeah. Oh, no, definitely not a shirt. I plumped out of those ages ago.
Okay. But a hat, a jacket, like some, the occasional family heirloom. Yeah, but a fucking diary, you get mercenaries, report, everyone is coming for this fucking book on this backwater shithole.
It's amazing, isn't it? There better be some juicy ass shit in there.
And what's it gonna prove? Like, we didn't even know she existed. Now we all have to have her life story. What is the point of that?
It's a damn fine question, and I don't know how long they're going to take ramping it up and actually answering it.
There's some cool things, and I want to like it. It's just, what?
That's the problem with decompressed storytelling, man. It takes forever to fucking get anywhere.
It's true.
And it does make me wonder sometimes what the point of it is. Just bang out a fucking story and then bang out another story.
Well, I mean there's two lines of
do
thought
people
there.
realize in themselves that if they bang out a story, they might not have another story for 8 months? And so I got to get 8 issues out of this while I think about other stories I can write.
I think there's two.
Because that's how I work at Super Macho Jedi Knight. I ain't gonna fucking lie.
There's multiple concepts to that. One is very simply, like, not everybody has a full idea, and as you're telling the story, it often changes.
Oh,
so
sure.
There's a depth to that, and then two, but at the same time, sometimes you want to build it and want to see the things going slowly. Like, I was just saying the opposite of what you're saying here about Rebel, because I wanted that story. I wanted to see the slog through the war. I'm like, motherfucker, you skipped everything cool, bitches.
You skipped everything cool, bitches. I say we say goodnight on that.
Bless you, fuckers!
And away.
The Mean Geek is recorded live at the Reverend Mad Duck's apartment whenever the hell we can get to it. Find us on Facebook, Stitcher, Twitter under @TheMeanerGeek. Subscribe to us through RSS.
Or we can be located at our own site, www.themeangeek.com. And most importantly of all, you can find us as a proud member of the Comics Podcast Network.
Email us directly at themeanergeek@gmail.com.
Can I drink now?
You may.